Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at a Mythic team composition as played by me in a solo game, not a double-up game. I rarely have the opportunity to do these normal games. It's not a ranked game, it is a normal game. But I figured this one ended up being a pretty entertaining game. I thought I'd take the footage, put it up on YouTube. For the handful of people that are watching, these videos don't draw a ton of audience. But we'll look at this Mythic team composition featuring Kog'Maw, featuring Cho'gath. And of course, since this is set 11, you know it's got to be a reroll game because that's all you can play in set 11 is reroll team compositions. That or Fast 9 team compositions, but that is not what this is. All right. So on the initial portal, I did not want the Tactician's Crown. I did not want the Spatula. We end up with the upgraded champion start. And it turns out that I get a Kog'Maw here for the start right away. I was like, oh, okay. 2-star Kog'Maw. Well, that suggests that maybe I should look to play Kog'Maw in this game. And in fact, that is what I'm going to end up doing because that's the direction that the team has given me. One thing I do is I do check the lobby. By the way, yeah, and then I get the Yone drop there. So it's like, okay, I guess I could also try to play reroll Yone here. But I decide I'm not going to do that because, as I said, I already have a 2-star, a 2-star Kog'Maw. Plus, I also have a Cho'gath here on the initial minion round, plus a Caitlyn. So I already have some of the pieces that I need if I want to play this. And now I'm looking around and trying to see, is anyone else looking to reroll for Kog'Maw? And I'm pretty sure no one else is doing it. And in fact, that would indeed be the case in this game. The sword, not quite what I want, but the tier. I do get the tier. And that's what you really need if you're going to play Kog'Maw, is you really do need to have tiers, because the tiers are what allow you to make a blue buff on Kog. Now, you can make a Spear of Shojin. It's not terrible. It is playable, but the blue buff is definitely better. So if you're looking to play Kog'Maw, you really want to get at least one tier from the initial minion rounds, because without that, he's just so much weaker of a champion. I think I've done this comparison before, but Kog'Maw feels a lot like playing Annie from the previous set, from set 10, whereby if you had perfect items on Annie, she could just be this absolute monster, but if she just had like okay items, she really wouldn't do that much. She needed very specific itemization to work, and that's kind of how Kog'Maw is as well. All right, for our initial augment here, in a different game, I might want to do Slammin', but I don't think I want that here because, again, Kog needs very specific itemization. I did think about Scapegoat, the training dummy, giving you a little bit of extra frontline and 1 additional gold every round, but I thought Jeweled Lotus would actually be better here. Your team gains additional critical strike chance, and abilities have the chance to crit without needing things like Jeweled Gauntlet or Infinity Edge. So I decided to opt for this. This is a little bit more of a long-term play. This is not going to do anything to help me economically, and it's not going to do all that much in the immediate future, but it does mean that Kog will be able to have his stuff crit. He does not need to have a Jeweled Gauntlet for his ult to crit, and that's going to be pretty nice here. Anyway, so I have all 4 of the key units that are in this team composition. I have Kog'Maw, I have Cho'gath. Those are the 2 most important units. And then I also have a Caitlyn and a Malphite. The downside is I do only have 1 copy of each unit except for the Kog'Maw. So I have not hit quite as many of these units as I would have liked. I had a great initial shop on, I think it was 1-3, but not such great shops on the following rounds after that. So this means I'm going to be losing throughout the early game, and this is very common when you're playing a 1-cost reroll build, is you tend to be pretty weak in the early game until you can start getting some of your units online. That's because you don't want to start rerolling until you get up to 50 gold if possible. And I'm a little ways away from that. I'm at 9 gold right now, so there's not a ton I can do. Kog'Maw really does need frontline in order to protect him. Him just standing by himself is not going to do that much. Anyway, our first random encounter here, we're going to get a choice of completed item here. So I'm looking at the different options. None of these are really that great for Kog'Maw. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Warmogs, and I'll use this for Cho'gath to make him stronger. By the way, there's another Caitlyn, but that's not going to do anything for the moment. So I go ahead and take a frontline item. As I said, none of those items were particularly great for Kog'Maw. I mean, I guess I could have done like I think there was an Archangel staff there, which is okay, but not quite what I'm looking for. Again, Kog's itemization, very specific. You want to have blue buff. Shojin's okay, but blue is definitely better. And then in addition to that, you want Nashor's Tooth. The 2 of them mean that he basically casts nonstop throughout the fight. And then the third item is you just want as much ability power as possible. In earlier patches, it was really good to get Gunblade for the third item, but they've ended up nerfing Gunblade quite a bit, and it's not a particularly good item right now. Deathcap is best, but just really anything that gives him more ability power is what you want to see. Anyway, I am a little bit unlucky in that both of the initial 2 rounds are up against Storyweaver boards that are very, very strong. Both of those Storyweaver boards had 2-star frontliners and the extra unit in the form of Kale, so I just get absolutely plastered in both of these first 2 rounds. As I said, it's a little bit unfortunate because a lot of these other boards were definitely weaker than what I saw. But, you know, as I said, it is what it is. I know that I'm going to be on the weaker side here in the early game, particularly until I can get 2-star Cho'gath. If I had a 2-star Cho, I probably would have killed at least 1 unit in those fights, because I do have 2-star Kog'Maw. But with only a 1-star Cho, he just gets bowled over really, really fast. And you can see what happens. Cho dies instantly, and then the whole enemy team is up on top of my front line, or up on top of Kog'Maw, and then he just gets cut down. By the way, that one person has the augment that gives you a 2-star Garen at the start of the game and then makes Garen really strong. They already have 8 Garens, and yeah, I've already hit that board already. I was like, geez, they have 8 Garens on 2-3? Okay, that person's going to be really strong. So they're just playing through this Garen that they managed to hit. Anyway, Kate does manage to get her ult off. That's nice. The bad news is she fires her ult at Malphite that's standing right next to her. But the good news is I have managed to kill some of these units. This is a much better loss. By the way, you saw Cog missed his ult there. That can actually happen. Cog is not guaranteed to hit his ult. If enemy units move, they can move out of the way. But that's not too bad of a loss. There's only 2 units alive on the enemy board, so that's not so bad. I also do get carousel priority because of the fact that I have lost all 3 rounds and lost them pretty badly. So this does mean that I can go over here and I can grab the tier, and that will secure the blue buff that Kog'Maw desperately needs. So I'm pretty happy with that. As I said, also could have taken the rod on Thresh. Like, I could have taken the rod off Thresh. That is a 3 gold unit, and that would have given me a little bit of extra income. Could have made Gunblade with that, but highest priority for Cog is getting that blue buff as soon as possible. You really, really, really need this if you're going to be playing Kog'Maw. Just because his mana cost is 30, and then this drops it down to 20, and so it means he casts on every other auto attack. So he also casts at the start of the fight, right? So it's cast, auto, cast, etc. Then the Nashor's Tooth gives him attack speed, so he can get off those auto attacks quickly and then get a cast off again. Cog's special property is he does increase the range of his ability as he casts it. Now, originally he gained +1 range every 2 casts. They have nerfed him down to +1 range every 3 casts, but generally speaking, it's still not that big of an issue. Cog has pretty good range. He will start out by hitting the front line of the enemy team, but after he casts a couple times, he should be able to hit pretty much any target. So he usually can just stay in the back and doesn't really need to move particularly far. Like right now, he had to move up, 2 tiles? But, yeah, he's generally able to hit pretty much the whole board. And by the way, I actually do end up winning that round. Might have been better to lose that round, but there wasn't much I could do. I do need to make sure I win at least some of these rounds. But, yeah, that person is, full loss streaking. Yeah, that person is full loss streak with Fortune. So if there had been some way to interrupt their Fortune loss streak, that would have been good. But wasn't quite able to do that. So, like I said, it is what it is. Alrighty, so now I'm able to get a Nico in. Or I can put Nico on my board. What I probably should do is take the Kate out. And no, never mind. Taking the Kate out is not going to help here. I wanted to put the Nico on my board over the Malphite because I want to start stacking up the Mythic bonus. Mythic trait is it provides additional health, ability power, and attack damage. And then the bonus goes up by 50% after the units have been on the board for 4 rounds. So I have to go through 4 rounds. You don't have to win 4 rounds. They just have to be on the board for 4 rounds. So you do want to start stacking up that Mythic bonus as soon as possible. So that's why Nico goes on the board and Malphite goes out. I lose Behemoth trait, but I gain Mythic trait. And Mythic trait is honestly probably the better of the 2 traits to have anyway. This is a ghostly board over here. And the problem is this Alawi is really, really tanky. Also, one of the Cog ults missed, but Kate is able to kill a unit and then can Cog it off 1 more ult. Okay, he does. So even though we're going to lose this round, we did manage to kill most of the enemy board. So that's not too bad. I think I actually might have been able to win the round if I'd had a 2-star Cho'gath there, but I still have only found the 1 Cho, which is a little unfortunate. At least I'm hitting the Kog'Maws, though. I do have 5 Kog'Maws already, so that's a good sign. Problem is I'm not really hitting the other units. I still have 1 Cho, 2 Nikos, and 2 Caitlyn's. Kate might be the hardest one to hit because I know some people are playing Caitlyn. She is also very popular in the Senna reroll board, the Ghostly plus Senna reroll composition, which is pretty popular. So Kate can be a little tricky to hit, but I can make do with not 3-starring the Caitlyn. What I really have to hit is the Kog'Maw, and I really have to hit the Cho'Gath as well. By the way, a rod is quite nice. I'll definitely take that. Rods are great for Cho'Gath. Now, if I can get one more rod to make a Death Cap, that would be super duper nice here. I guess I also could have saved that to potentially try to make Ionic Spark, which is really good to have on Cho, because you get the enemy magic resistance shred, but I just decided I'd put it on Cog, so he did a little bit more damage here. All right, so we get the chance to pull a completed item, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this isn't bad. This is fine. These are all frontline items again. I mean, I guess there's blue buff, but Cog already has a blue buff. I could put Giant Slayer on him, but that's not really what I'm looking for. So I was like, all right, I'll just go ahead and take the Bramble Vest and put this on the Cho'Gath. So Cho has pretty good items. The last item, it could be a Sunfire Cape. Oh, and I decided to reroll a little bit here. I decided I'd roll down to 40 gold. And it works out reasonably well. I hit Kate 2-star and I hit one more Cog. But because I'm uncontested in this lobby, I decided that I would not try to roll down to like 20 gold here. I was like, I don't think I need to do that. I can afford to be a little bit more patient and slow play this. Now, here's the bad news. I've cycled through the enemy teams, and I'm right back to this Garen board that I saw on 2-1. So this is the strongest team in the lobby by a pretty good margin. I've hit them on 2-1 and 3-1. That is pretty terrible in terms of sequencing. I've hit the strongest board in the lobby as soon as I can possibly hit them, and then as soon as I can possibly hit them again. They have a 3-star Garen, and there's literally nothing I can do. They have Storyweaver 5 with a 3-star Garen. I mean, that's just going to beat anybody's board pretty much right now. So once again, I lose, and I take another loss, and I didn't even manage to get full loss streak because there was an open forwarding fortune player that ended up causing me to win one round. So I wouldn't say this has been going great thus far. Still, now I am up to 50 gold on level 5, so now I can start slow rolling here to try to hit more of my units. I was able to take a Mythic Emblem there. That's quite nice. It's not going to do anything in the immediate future, although I guess Malphite can start getting the Mythic bonus. But it's going to make it much easier to hit Mythic 7 in this game, which is going to be pretty nice. And I ended up rolling a little bit more there. And by the way, there's a Nautilus here as well. I was like, oh boy. Is there any way I can get this on the board? But the only way I can get this on the board is by taking Kate off the board, and I don't think that that's worthwhile to do. So I'll hold the Nautilus for right now. I'm really hoping that I can find one more Cho'Gath to get Cho 2-star, because I've got all these great tank items on Cho'Gath, but he's only a 1-star unit. So that's the biggest thing that's causing me issues right now, is not finding more of the Cho'Gaths here. But I'm starting to get there. I am on 7 Kog'Maws, so we're making some progress. And because my health is so low, I will have good carousel priority when it comes to the next carousel. But like I said, not having a 2-star Cho'Gath is really hurting me at the moment. Anyway, this is up against a Tristana duelist board, and Trista's already 2-starred, so yeah, she's gonna punch through my team. That person's already level 7, by the way, so okay. A lot of people playing heavy tempo in this lobby, which is not surprising. It's been one of the things about this patch, is because everybody's re-rolling. No one is like trying to econ to level 8 and then play like 4-cost units. Everyone is just re-rolling very aggressively at low levels, which I guess you could say I'm doing here as well. But I needed to get up to the 50 gold, and I just haven't had a chance to really hit my units yet. So hopefully they'll start coming online. There's 8 Kog'Maws, and I decided I'd roll. I'm really looking for one more Cho here or one more Cog. Either one would really help my board a lot. But I don't want to spend too low, so it's like, again, it's like I need to get stronger so I don't lose too much more health, but I don't want to go too low here. And I just think I decided to stop there. I don't want to go below 30. I did hit the 3-star, or the 2-star Cho'Gath, but one more Cog would really, really spike my board a lot. So I don't want to spend too much gold here. I mean, every time I go below 50 gold, I am cutting into my econ, but I also don't want to bleed out 10,000 health here either. So like I said, it's always a balancing act here on when you're playing these boards. And I guess that's the fun of playing Teamfight Tactics, is trying to figure out how far can I push this, etc. Unfortunately, this person already has 2-star Yone. I'm not quite sure what's going on in this lobby, because so many of these boards are so strong. A lot of people have spiked super, super early, but like, yeah, this person has 2-star Yone, so not much I can do about that. Yone is very overtuned in this patch, if you've been watching this. Also, Cog targets the lowest HP target, so he wasted a lot of his damage hitting the targeting dummies on the enemy team. So yeah, even though my board is definitely getting stronger, still not able to beat that, and I'm still down here with just, 52 health? So I've already lost half my health, basically. And it's going to be a tough balancing act trying to stay alive from here. Anyway, the good news is I do get first pick on the carousel, so I can go ahead and take an item here, and I'm going to go ahead and take the belt, because that's what I need to make Gnasher's Tooth. If I get any more belts, I could go ahead and make Sunfire Cape, which I'd be quite happy with on the Cho'Gath, but I'm going to go ahead and take this. This will be, as I said, this will be Gnasher's Tooth, And yeah, that's the other item I need. So I'm hoping I can get one more rod here. Again, I could make the Gunblade for Cog, but it's really just not a good item after the various nerfs that they applied to Gunblade. So yeah, could have of course made the Gunblade here, but I kind of only need one more rod. But I actually would like to get multiple belts here. So, okay. Oh, I guess I did go ahead and make the gun. I thought I didn't make Gunblade on Kog'Maw this game. I guess I'm wrong. I guess I just decided to make use of it because that's what I had. Anyway, yeah, I thought that I had held off on making it in this game. I must be thinking of a different game that I played. So, ignore the commentary. I guess I did end up making the Gunblade anyway. And honestly, given that I've lost this much health, probably not the worst decision. So, this makes me stronger in the short run, but it means Cog's itemization is not quite as good as it could be in the long run. I think if I were to do this again, I might hold off on the sword because any sword items I get can go on Caitlyn, and they're actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good if you can get like, I don't know, Infinity Edge or Deathblade on Kate, because it means that her ult just is really, really good at sniping people in the back line. All right, anyway, now we have 3-star Cog, so definitely a lot stronger now. He's got the blue buff plus Nashor's Tooth, so again, auto, it's like cast, auto, cast, auto, cast. And he's got lots and lots of attack speed from the Nashor's Tooth. He has permanent uptime on Nashor's Tooth attack speed benefit because he casts instantly at the start of the fight with blue buff, and then he'll just cast again before the 4 seconds of attack speed from Nashor's Tooth wears off. So it is one thing that almost all low mana AP champions want. If you have a low mana cost, blue buff and then Nashor's Tooth is like the go-to combination. Syndra wants the same stuff, Kindred wants the same stuff, etc. All right, this time we get a treasure army that can be rerolled up to 10 times, and this is actually a terrible, terrible treasure armory for me. Why is that? Because I've already fully itemized the Kog'Maw, and I've also fully itemized the Cho'gath. So I can't put an item on Cho'gath, and I can't put an item on Kog'Maw. This is the stuff that I just hate about these armories, because you can get stuff like this, and like, I have no way of knowing that this is coming, but I've just completely screwed myself because the two most important units in my comp are already fully itemized. Like, how was I supposed to know that there was going to be a Radiant item popping up here later on? It's really frustrating to have this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'll make the Infinity Edge for Caitlyn, but like, I have really gotten screwed because my most important units, which are the Cho'gath and the Kog'Maw, neither one is going to be able to use this Radiant item. I've got this Radiant Bramble Vest, which would be amazing on Cho. If I could somehow get his actual Bramble Vest off and replace it with Radiant Bramble Vest, that would be so much better. But no, I just get screwed over by the complete luck factors that I have no say in whatsoever. So, oof. By the way, there's the Fortune player again. They're still going for like a big Fortune cash out. They have 56 Fortune stacks right now, which is actually a lot. Although if you watch the Fortune 7 video that Headwinder provided me with, you might not think that 50 stacks is a lot. It actually is a lot of luck stacks. Anyway, though, like I said, it's my least favorite thing about this set is you can get completely screwed over by random factors that are just utterly out of your control, and that was one of them right there. I was penalized by the fact that I had fully itemized Kog'Maw when just out of nowhere we get a Radiant Armory, and there's like no way to know that that's going to happen ahead of time. So that's why I really don't think this is a very good gameplay mechanic. It's just, I don't know, you can get screwed so easily by stuff you have no control over, so yikes. All right, well, we're still rolling here on level 5. We need to hit some more of these units. I am starting to see the Chos pop up. That's 6 Chos. That's really nice to get them. Can I hit a couple more? I'm also hitting some Kates. That's 5 Kates, 6 Kates, with that one popping up in the shop. 7 Kates, okay. 7 Chos, alrighty. 8 Kates, getting there. There's another Nico. I don't really have bench space for that. By the way, I still only have 1 Malphite, which is just bizarre. I can make room for this Nico if I use the item anvil on my bench, though. So, all right, we're apparently all going to get an artifact item, so okay. I'm going to take the Zeke's Herald because this gives me additional attack speed. None of the other things particularly helped me. And I'm going to have to go ahead and put this on the Caitlyn. Now, look at this board over here. This person has double Radiant items on their 3-star Garen. Yeah, they have Radiant Sunfire and Radiant, what is that called? Radiant Dragon's Claw. So again, there's just no way I can ever kill this board. And by the way, remember how I hit this team on 2-1 and 3-1? Yeah, I've hit them on 4-1 as well. So I have hit this team, which is the strongest in the lobby, the maximum possible amount of times I can hit them. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. The game is not doing me any favors in terms of who I'm hitting here whatsoever. Yikes. Alrighty, well, I'm looking at the different options here. I'm hoping to get something better, and unfortunately I end up with all stuff that's really bad. I have to end up taking the Capricious Forge that gives me 2 Ornn items out of the Ornn artifact, but I really didn't want this one at all, and it's a bad fit for my team. If I had to do it again, I think I would take Best Friends, where you get the benefit if your units, you get the armor benefit if your units stand next to each other. I think I would definitely take that if I had that option again. All right, the good news is I do manage to hit the Cho 3-star, so that's really nice. I hit Kate 3-star and Cho 3-star. I did have to roll down to 25 gold here, which is not amazing, but I'm able to slot in the Nautilus, and I'll put the Nautilus on my board for Mythic 5. That actually is a pretty big jump to get up to Mythic 5. And I'll put the artifact, the Blacksmith artifact item on him because might as well. But like I said, I think that this was kind of a waste of a gold augment. It really is doing very, very little for my team. I just didn't like any of the options that I had. Little Buddies was not going to do much on my team. I guess Little Buddies would have been okay, but I'm not expecting I'm playing many 4-cost or 5-cost units. Still, it probably would have been better than this artifact item, because I do have a lot of 1-cost and 2-cost units. So I guess if I ever do play like Lilia or Hui on my board, Little Buddies actually would have been helpful. Yeah, in retrospect, that probably would have been better. Oh well. But yeah, I ended up taking this Blacksmith's, this Thieves' Glove that gives me 2 Ornn items, and that really does, as I said, very little for my team. So wish I could have gotten something better than that. I think I would have taken just like some generic thing, because yeah, look at Nautilus. He has a death stance and a sniper's focus. Like, what is that doing? That's completely useless. Nautilus doesn't want that. He wants tank items. So yeah, not really getting much value out of that thing, but I'll just have to do the best I can. Still, I have finally hit the core portion of my comp. Go ahead and make the Protector's Vow for Nico. I'm still hoping that I might be able to get Nico 3-star here before the end of the game. I have 6 Nikos at the moment. I am largely going to be power leveling, though, and not trying to reroll, because I want to get up to level 8, and on level 8, I'd like to play 7 Mythic, which would be pretty nice. I already have the Tahm Kench who can go on this board, and then I'd like to find either Hui or Lilia. I still have good carousel priority, so I have decent odds I might be able to get a Hui off carousel. Hui would be super nice because you could just paint me more Nikos and get me to Nico 3-star. That would be really good. And of course, that would also give me another damage dealer. I do have 2 damage dealers in the form of, obviously, Kog'Maw, the main carry, but then Kate is actually a pretty decent alternate carry as well, or like secondary carry. And then, of course, I've got the 3-star Cho anchoring my front line. So I have won enough rounds that now I am going to be second pick here. But there's still decent odds I might be able to get something pretty good off of this carousel. Except that now we're going to get an extra component on here. And look, by the way, there's a Hui on here, which would just be absolutely amazing for me. I would love to get this, but I've like won just enough rounds that I'm not going to be able to get this. And then that person, Relics, who's the person who's playing Fortune, is the one who's going to grab it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll take the Lysandra here. Lysandra is going to give me the Cloak, which will allow me to make Gargoyle's Stoneplate for the Cho'gath, which I thought was the best last item I could make from this position. It was either that or Sunfire Cape, but I decided I would pass on the Sunfire. I actually don't have any healing reduction. That is something I should probably try to get. But Lysandra's nice as well, because I can actually play her as a unit, potentially. And I guess I'll hold this... Or do I end up selling her? I can't remember. I thought that I ended up playing her because she does put Arcanist trait if I put her on the board. I just need to get more econ on here, because like it'll be better to play the Lysandra and get Arcanist trait than to put in the Tahm Kench for Mythic 6 that doesn't do anything. And like I have enough front line. Also, if I played Lysandra, I might be able to... She might randomly print more items for me. You never know. Anyway, so I'll put the Nautilus in the back line so he gets the extra attack speed from Zeke's. Now that Zeke's is a support item and not a makeable item, it actually does stretch out 2 tiles in each direction instead of 1 tile, the way it did. Nautilus, by the way, actually rolled really good items on the artifact item this round. The Hull Crusher plus the Winter's Edge is actually really good, but he still is only a 1-star unit, so he's not only going to last so long. This person has, what, 2-star Syndra? Looks like they're playing an Arcanist board over there. So I'm just trying to kill the back line. If I could just get onto the Syndra a little bit faster. Unfortunately, Cho is more tanky against physical damage than magic damage. Oh, can Kate get off one more ult? No, she does not. So now it's down to Kog'Maw against the Syndra. One more ult. Oh, wow. Cog would have killed with 1 more ult there. I just couldn't quite kill that board fast enough. But that is unfortunate, because that actually cost me quite a bit of econ. I was on a 3-match winning streak, and I maybe could have carried a 5-match winning streak into the minion round, so that actually does cost me a little bit. In retrospect, I wish I'd leveled and played the Lysandra. I would have won that round with the Lysandra in there, but couldn't have known that ahead of time. Like I said, a very narrow loss, and I'm trying to maintain econ here while also trying to get up to level 7, and then after that, I do need to get up to level 8. Did find 1 more Nico, so that's 7 Nikos. That's, that's something. If I can find 2 more. Nico does have a Radiant Bramble on her, so, I mean, she has pretty good tank items over there. Does not look like I'm going to hit 3-star Malphite, though. I've only seen 4 Malphites the whole game, but out of all these various units on my board, he is probably the least important. By the way, did you see Kate get off an amazing ult right there? She's able to snipe one of the carries in the back line. And is that going to be enough to win this fight against this person who's playing... I think they're playing Kai'Sa and Xayah back there. Unfortunately, no, it's not enough. And I think that's important. The 1-star Xayah did 7,000 damage on that board. We were able to get the snipe off of the Kai'Sa on the enemy team, but not quite enough to get the Xayah as well. So after winning 3 rounds there, I do end up losing 2 rounds. And you can see the big issue is just my health is very low. I don't think that my board quality is that bad. I actually think it's pretty solid here. But, you know, I was still level 6 at the end of stage 4. It just took a while for me to reroll and hit these units. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball in terms of leveling. So I really want to get up to higher levels now. Okay, we can go ahead and sell the Annie. Sell the, oh, actually, we're getting a tremendous amount of gold here. Not that many items, but a tremendous amount of gold here. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to get another sword here, so that's something. I'll play the Lysandra. I also have the chance to pull another item from the artifact, from the... And I actually just go ahead and level as well, because I'm trying to get up to 7 Mythic. I just need to find a Lilia or a Hui here. There's another Nautilus. That's not bad. Okay, so I run out of money here, but I do have the Lysandra on the board. And again, I have the chance to pull another item here. So I was like, okay. You know, let's make Giant Slayer for Kate, and then we still have some leftover items here. I was like, what do I want to do with this? You know, I could shop to make Static Shiv. I don't have a magic resist debuff. I'll just go ahead and put this on Lysandra with the intention that this is going to go on either Hui or Lilia. I wouldn't say it's an amazing item on either, but it's not terrible. And getting either one of those units would put me up to 7 Mythic. I guess I could also find Bard as well. I don't have Bard on the board either. And Bard would actually make decent use of that as well. But I would prefer to find Lilia, because Lilia would make Invoker trait for my team, or Hui, because, as I said, you could start painting copies of Nico and allow me to get up to 3-star Nico faster. So that's the hope anyway, as I really wish I'd been able to get that Nico off Carousel. Oh, and by the way, remember that board that had the 3-star Garen? Yeah, I hit them again. And by the way, there is the Lilia. So I was like, okay, as much as I like having Lysandra, I think I'd rather have 7 Mythic here. So we'll go ahead and make this substitution, and we'll swap the Static Shiv over there. Anyway, I can't get over the sequencing from these boards that I hit. I hit that board on 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, and 5-1. The good news is that by 5-1, they were no longer the strongest board in the lobby. But like, seriously, the game just will not give me a break. It is absolutely determined to pit me up against this board over and over and over and over again. By the way, Nautilus actually got good tank items again. Hullbreaker once again, and then the Anima Visage. I'm hoping that I can find one more to get the 2-star version. But now I kind of have the core of my team. Like, this is more or less what the finished version of my team is going to look like. 7 Mythic in. And by the way, can we pop the Yone? This is a 3-star Yone. Can we actually just focus that unit? It's really hard to deal with him because every single time he ults, he drops aggression. And now he's up on top of the Cog. Can he snap back? No, he's going to kill Cog. Can the entire team kill him? Well, fortunately, Nautilus gets off the CC to knock him up in the air. And oh, we actually are going to win. And thank goodness, get that Yone out of the lobby. So I'll go ahead and sell the Malphite, because I'm not going to 3-star Malphite. And unlock my shop to make 2-star Tahm Kench. So yeah, we get the 3-star Yone out of the lobby, thank goodness. That person was down on low HP, but we were able to hit them, and oh, look at this store. Okay, 2-star Nautilus and 2-star Lily in the store. Well, I'll go ahead and lock for that. I could buy these if I sold the Nikos, but again, I am very close to Nico 3-star. I don't want to sell this unit if I don't have to. So if I can hit these, I think I'll be in reasonably good shape. The lobby is pretty tight here. A lot of people on low HP. And I'm hoping that I will have enough to deal with these. This is the board that I think I saw. This is the last board I think I lost to, because it has the 2-star Syndra over there on their board. So again, I just really need to get damage over there to hit the Syndra if I can. That's the unit I need to kill. But there's a whole bunch of tanky units kind of standing in the way. Also, Lux is doing a pretty good job of focusing my backline. Where did my Cho'gath go? Cho just dies, and it looks like we don't have quite enough to win this. Yeah, so I'm going to lose, and I go down to, 10 HP. So I'm pretty much down to my last life right now, and that's not a great sign, to say the least. I guess I do get second pick on the carousel, though. So out of the stuff here, again, I would have liked a Hui, but there's no Hui to be found here. So I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm going to take this Azir, because Azir has a useful item in the Spear of Shojin. I can put this on Lilia, and that'll cause her to cast a lot more often. And it also just denies an Azir to the rest of the lobby. I don't know if anyone is trying to play Azir, but I believe one person is. The player Relics, that is the player who was on the Big Fortune loss streak and now is just trying to play legendary units. So I think they would have probably liked to play this unit, but I'm going to deny that to them if they were thinking about playing it. And it also gives me enough gold from selling the Azir so I can purchase Lilia 2-star and purchase Nautilus 2-star. And as much as I'd like to get to level 9, I'd love to get to level 9 and play, like, honestly, Lissandra would be a nice unit to play here. But I don't think that I'm going to have enough gold to get there, so I will probably just stay here on level 8 and try to hit the Nico 3-star. I think that's probably the best thing I can do. So this is about as strong as I can get my board. I've 2-starred everything, and I have 3 stars on the Cho and the Kog'Maw, but having 2-star Lilia definitely is going to help here. She casts way more often with the Spear of Shojin. I think she casts on like every 2 auto attacks instead of every 4 or something, or like every 3 instead of every 5 auto attacks, something like that. But she definitely casts more often. You can see she's doing noticeably more damage in these fights, which is good because I can use another damage threat. Yeah, she did almost as much damage as Kog in that fight. And we're going to knock that player out of the lobby. So one other person out. And that person's going to get down to low health. Yeah, the Garen player, the person with the 3-star Garen has fallen off pretty hard. I think that they're still stuck on 5 Story Weaver and not 7 Story Weaver, I believe. I also have the Mythic bonus just about stacked up on Lily. I think she needs like 1 more round. And again, that's a big deal because 7 Mythic is providing quite a few stats. Right now in this patch, 7 Mythic is 7 Mythic is 25% health, 32% AD and AP, and then that gets increased by 50% after 4 combats. So it'll go up to what, like 37% health and just about 50% AD and AP, technically 48%. All right, here is the Kai'Sa plus Xayah board that beat me a couple rounds ago. So now I'm back to this board again, but I've definitely gotten a lot stronger than then. So it looks like my front line is a little bit tankier and my back line is holding up there. And I do feel like the 2-star Lilia is making the biggest difference in these fights. She just gives me a little bit more damage to survive. So we're going to survive another round, and hey, I've made it to top 4 status. All right. Made it to top 4. Honestly, this game has been a bit of a nice edge because I've been such low health the whole time. But it looks like I was finally able to make it at least into the top 4. Again, it's a normal game, so there's no LP at stake. But if it had been a ranked game, this would have been a swap over into positive LP. Anyway, I'm looking at Relics. Again, that's the player who got the Fortune cash out. They got up to like, I think about 60 or 70 luck, and then they cashed out. And they've just moved into a board of legendary units. So they have 2-star Hui, which is annoying because I would like to be playing Hui on my board, but I'm not. And they also have a 2-star Azir, so I guess denying Azir off Carousel didn't really do anything to stop them. There's a Nico, though. Okay, one more Nico. It's kind of the only thing I'm rolling for here. I'm not going to 3-star any of these other units. One more? Can I get one more? Oh, okay. All right, now I can look to go to level 9, although I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. And now that Nico's 3-starred, I think I want an item for Nico. So let's go ahead and put this on her. Bad news is I'm up against this player, Relics, and they're the win-streaking player in the lobby. They also have a 2-star Udyr for their front line. So I was like, oh, man. They're level 9. They're playing a lot of 2-star 5 costs. I'm not confident that I can beat this board. I actually think that this is probably the strongest player in the lobby. They are win streaking, but I am going to get some pretty fortunate RNG in this match because if you watch, Hui's ult is going to do a lot of damage to my backline, but watch Kate and boop! She's going to take out the Hui with a perfect sniper shot. And that's super important because, look, my whole backline almost died from the very first Hui cast. If Hui got off another cast, my backline was toast. So Kate getting off that ult, 2,500 damage ult, right through the entire team to pop the 2-star Hui. What a big difference in the fight that made. I 100% lose that fight if she doesn't manage to get that cast off because, yeah, 2-star Hui does a lot of damage, especially when he's got good itemization as that person's managed to put together. All right, I wish I had knocked them out of the lobby. Unfortunately, I did not manage to get them out of the lobby, but that means I'm up against the Ink Shadow Trick Shot player who's playing Xayah plus Kai'Sa. They have managed to make 2-star Xayah, so that's pretty scary. They got 2-star Xayah with an an Ink Shadow item of some kind over there. So I'm hoping that I can win this, but it's a ghost round. Thank goodness it's a ghost round. We know ghost rounds are buggy, so they tend to be easier to win than a normal round. And the good news is one of these other 2 players will be out of the lobby no matter what. So hopefully I can win this round. The good news is Nico managed to get into the back lines there for a little bit, and it looks like their front, even though they have really good damage on this team, their front line is not quite as strong. So it looks like we're going to punch through that, and end up winning this round. And who's going to get knocked out? Oh, it's actually the Fortune Cash Out player who got knocked out. I thought that their board was actually stronger, so I was happy to see that happen. I thought I had a better matchup against this team than I did against the other team. So they're level 10 over there. What the heck? Yeah, level 10 board against my level 8 board, but their front line is still kind of sketchy. They only have 1-star Udyr. They only have 1-star Wukong. If they hit the 2-star version of either of those units, I think I'd be in a lot more trouble, but 1-star Wukong, 1-star Udyr, not quite as good. I think it might have made more sense to roll on level 9 and try to 2-star some of those as opposed to going to level 10, but that's just my personal preference. So let's see if we can win this round. Again, we have to get through the front line and then try to get on the Xayah and the Kai'Sa. Those are the two dual carries on this board. As I said, their actual backline damage is really strong, but their front line a little bit sketch. We're going to get a nice Caitlyn ult there to pop one of the frontliners. The front line is down. It's just the Xayah and the Kai'Sa. And it looks like we've got this. And that's going to do it for a first place victory here. In a very close, very tight lobby. I thought that this was a pretty tough lobby overall. Some of the boards did fall off in the late game because a lot of people had kind of emphasized early game. I'm thinking of like that Garen Storyweaver board in particular that kind of fell off a cliff in the late game. But I'm glad I was able to figure it out and get this to a conclusion. I was one round away from losing, and I do think I was a little bit lucky in the round I was able to win against the Fortune Cash Out player. Kate got off that super clutch ult that allowed me to win the fight. But hey, I'm not complaining. Sometimes you need to get fortunate RNG. I was able to put this one together. I was able to make the 7 mythic board and hit just enough 3-stars to pull this one out. Anyway, so once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay. I know I've done a couple COG games, but I hope this one was still fun to watch. Until next time, take care, folks. See you soon.